evening, all President Superfans, and welcome to the third episode of the Quincy High Sports Talk Show. Our previous episodes highlighted the tremendous winter season for our boys and girls basketball and boys and girls hockey programs. Tonight, we focus our attention on some of our spring teams. As some spring programs such as baseball, softball, and tennis have been battling the weather conditions, our girls lacrosse and boys volleyball are full swing into their schedules. Let's start with the girls lacrosse team. The girls currently hold a 2-8 record in their last 10 games of the season, playing some of the top teams in Duxbury, Hingham, and Hanover along the way. They picked up their first victory of the season during the April vacation week with a 13-5 win over Cardinal Spellman. They would then pick up their second victory this past Monday in what was a back-and-forth battle with Fontbonne Academy. With the rain pouring down, the girls continuously fought, forcing the game into overtime. In overtime, with less than 20 seconds remaining, Quincy High School junior Megan Bailey went the length of the turf and scored the golden goal to give the girls the win, 15-14. The team has shown great improvements over the last month and a half and will look to continue their progress during their last 10 games of the season. The girls will be taking on city rivals North Quincy next week on May 8th over at Creedon Field. Please welcome our guest at this time, Quincy High School senior, Caitlin McDevitt. So Caitlin, so how would you describe the season so far?
So far, we've had a lot of ups and downs. Like, we've won a lot of games and lost a lot of games. But the games we lose, we always get something positive out of it. It's not just a straight loss.
Now, what sort of areas do you think that the team needs to improve on most?
We have a lot of communicating problems, like on the field, and I think that's like what kind of stops us the most, but we're getting better with it.
All right, so being a senior, being one of the leaders on the team, and having played for the last couple of years, what do you enjoy most about being a part of the girls lacrosse program?
Well, I love that, like, freshman year to senior year, I've like played with the same girls, and I've like created friendships that I never would have had if I never played. So it's nice to have that.
And and finally, as a senior, what sort of advice would you give to some of the younger girls on the team and in the program?
To not give up, because a lot of girls, like, they think it's really hard because in the beginning it's a lot of running and like working out, but in the end it's so worth it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Caitlin, for coming in and speaking with us today. Best of luck the rest of the year.
Thank you.
So now we're going to switch gears to the boys volleyball side of things. The boys are more than halfway through their schedule and have a 5-8 record. Their wins include victories over Weymouth, Randolph, Barnstable, and New Bedford. With 8 games remaining on the schedule, the boys still have high hopes of qualifying for the state tournament. The boys will need to win 5 out of their last 8 games in order to clinch a postseason berth. They will have a few away games coming up before returning home against Greater New Bedford, Votech, and Brockton next week. The boys will take on city rivals North Quincy on May 16th at home at 5:30 p.m. So today's player spotlight, we have two members of our boys volleyball team with us, Chris Pham and Brendan Corbett. So now, guys, it's been an up and down year for you so far. So what sorts of things do you guys think that the team needs to work on, to improve, and also, more importantly, what needs to be done to make the tournament?
Well, our team has been plagued from the beginning of injuries. We've lost multiple seniors who are very vital to this team, have been playing since their freshman year. And because of that, a bunch of underclassmen have stepped up in their spot, and experience is our biggest problem. So Brendan and I have been putting that into the underclassmen and teaching them as much as we can and getting them up to speed.
I think another one of the biggest things is that the team has a bit of a trust issue right now with one another. A lot of the times I find that the communication isn't there and stuff like that, but as soon as we step that up, and I feel like we have the capability to do so, we can do big things. And I definitely think that we have the capability to take it to tournament this year, but we have to work on those two aspects.
All right, now, so guys, for the both of you, what's been your favorite part of being, involved with the boys volleyball program for over the years?
Well, personally, I'm a really big competitor, and I think the hardest competitor in me comes out when I play volleyball. And playing for Quincy High has just been an honor because I've been playing on varsity since freshman year, and I can't really complain about that. So
I just love the sport in general. It's really fast-paced. It's non-contact too, which is kind of fun because whereas in soccer and other sports like that, you kind of take a lot of hits and stuff like that. But in this, it's still fast-paced and yeah, it's just a lot of fun, I guess.
All right, now, so guys, being seniors, two leaders on the team, what sorts of advice would you give to the younger guys who are just learning about the sport and just getting interested about it, and also the guys that are currently on the JV team or whatever? What sort of advice would you give to them?
for the new players coming up, I would say take advantage of all the opportunities that we give at Quincy High, because over the summer we host a bunch of clinics and camps for volleyball for girls and boys, and that is something to be taken advantage of.
Yeah, definitely just keep working hard, because this is a sport that if you put in the time, you're going to get really good at it. And I don't see any JV player that I can't see making varsity and, being a real competitor in this team and stuff later on.
Well, thank you both, guys. Thanks for coming in, talking with us. Best of luck the rest of the way. Hope you guys make it to the tournament. Well, that will wrap it up today, folks. Be sure to tune in next time for more Quincy High sports action, highlights, and interviews.